Ah, to wave hand no easy. Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. See me adjusting my curtain. Know that work wants to start. Once you adjust that curtain like this, work is about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, someone says senior man care. No, I'm not anybody's senior man. No. Senior man day his day. Huh? Good evening, everyone. David Namdi said, please help me assist with little money for food. Sell your phone, brother. As you are looking at us, we're also trying to raise money for several projects. Sell your phone, eat. All right, so I have a special guest tonight. I told you tonight was going to be good. Hey, you people don't know. Where is she? Oh? I have a special guest. Let me drink water for you people's problems. All of you that have problems today. That means said, let me grab a hot cup of chocolate drink. Grab. Oh. Wait till I hear good tonight. Oh, no. Someone said it's blessing. See you, our special guest. I don't know. I want to invite our special guest to. Hey, special guest, Aye. Finest mama. Hey, finest mama. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with me tonight, I have Yetunde Odumosu. Did I get that?
Oduwole.
Oduwole. Odu is Abeokuta, abi?
No, I'm from Ijebu.
Ijebu, that whole side. Odushote, Odusanya. What does Odu mean?
They are all Odu.
What
I
does
don't
Odu
know.
mean?
Don't ask me. Oh.
Eh?
My papa don't die, so I don't know
Hey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Hello, everybody. Good evening
Good evening.
to the Free Nation.
We are not doing Free Nation today. Today we are talking about people going through toxic or surviving toxic relationships. Yetunde Bossline went on to write a book about being a single mom. How did that go? Let me even ask you before we bring anybody else. How did that go?
It's getting a lot of applauses, so to say, from um, the single mothers community worldwide because I've been touring with the book and they've accepted it and they are giving me accolades for it. So I believe I'm doing a good job.
What about our local Nigerian guys? I believe that. How can you be promoting single motherhood? What nonsense.
Yeah, when I first unveiled the book last year, I got a lot of attacks by African men, I believe, because they're like, oh, so you've written a book about single mothers, so that means you're promoting single motherhood, you're promoting prostitution, you're promoting this and that. I'll be like, you know what? Have you even read this book? You know? So through the years, I've learned to grow what they call a thick skin, So I don't let all that bother me because I've been bent on, passing my message across, and that's what I've been doing. No distraction, nothing, because I've written this book to share my experience as a single mother to the world. And it's not every day that you find a woman like me telling her truth and sharing her story, like with no tongue in cheek, so to say. So I've done that, and I'm happy I did it. And I've told my story, and people are learning from my story. So it's better to stay single than to die in a marriage. You know, so so I'm alive now because I chose to stay alive, and I chose to leave that toxic marriage that I was in for 8 years. I was married for 8 years. So, and I left, and I'm alive today.
You know,
isn't that beautiful?
it's awesome. You see, one problem I have with Nigerians is if a Nigerian woman comes out and says, "Ah, my husband was beating me," they'll say, "What did you do? You too, what did you do that you?"
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Just like being raped. When you come out and to say, "Oh, you've been raped or you were raped before," like, what did you wear?
what did you wear?
What?
You know. So we do a lot of victim blaming in this part of the world, and domestic violence, as it implies, sometimes swings both ways. Meaning, women are victims, men also are victims. I don't want to go into my own story because mine was very popular back then, and one of the grounds through which I got my divorce was domestic violence. You know, they always come and try and say, hey, he was cheating, he was this, he was that, he was that. Like I said, I don't want to go into it, but domestic violence is something we should all be careful when we play around it, because sometimes even the perpetrators act as victims. So it's very dicey. Where did you raise your kids?
In the UK.
Do you
And
think?
I've done that single-handedly.
Do you think?
And they are boys.
Congratulations, first of all, because your kids didn't go to prison. Boys in the UK, they have very high rate of knife crime. They have a very high rate of gangsterism. You know, so if you could successfully raise your kids beyond a certain age without them actually going to prison for one reason or the other, you've done a good job. But let me ask this. Do you think if you were in Nigeria, you'd have had the societal backing you had in the UK that afforded you the opportunity to actually be a single mom and be a single mom properly?
I don't think so. I don't think we have enough support in Nigeria, in Africa generally. People call us prostitutes, and there is a lot of how do I say it now, backlash for single mothers, especially in Nigeria. Single mothers are always victims of, like, a single mother would go to a landlord to get an apartment, and they'll be like, you know what, we're not giving you because you're a single mother. You know, you've got to bring a man to stand in for you. So no, that is not acceptable. But in this climate that I live in, I am so glad that I live in a civilized world where we get the total support that we need. And it's been a bed of roses for me here as a single mother. So it's been tough though, like along the line. But then I'm not complaining. I was able to raise my kids on my own. And though there was a time I went the way of depression, you know, but I was able to swing back to life, so to say. And I'm all the better for it today.
Now, I want to ask something. What's your message to women out there who are in the troubled waters of a bad marriage?
Leave.
Hmm.
Leave. Like a lot of, like my parents, I remember when I was going through my one, and my parents were like, okay, patch it now. Especially my mom was like, I was with your dad for several years, and it wasn't as if he was totally a good man like that, but I stayed with him. So why don't you patch it? That is a lot of, the mistakes that a lot of Nigerian moms especially do. They want you to patch it, they want you to stay married as if marriage is some kind of trophy, you know. So our advice is to you. Immediately you start noticing the red flags. You start seeing the red flags.
What do you consider the red flags?
It differs from marriage to marriage. Like for mine, when I was dating my ex-husband, I could see that it was violent. He was already throwing things at me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to build this man, and it's not going to be violent anymore. So it is always our undoing to say that we want to build a violent man to change from a violent to a good man. There's no way you could. You cannot. You are not the one that created him. So a violent man will always be a violent man. So once you notice that, please leave for the sake of your children, for the sake of your family, for the sake of yourself.
All right. You also did say a friend was supposed to join us tonight.
Yes, I have a lot of friends like begging me that they want to come on this program because, God, we have bombshells this evening.
Hey.
We have bombshells. My own story might not be sweet because it happened long time ago. Okay, I've gotten over it. But how about those who are going through it now? So, I don't know if Nabila is here.
Nabila?
How does she join?
Let her send me a request, or let her just say hi. I can type her name in.
Nabila, say hello.
Nabila, say hello. I love bombshells. Someone said Daddy Freeze loves bombshells. This is the house of bombshells. You want to drop a bomb? Drop it right here.
Nabila, are you here?
Okay. Nabila Fash. Dr. Nabila Fash. Oh, she's a doctor.
She is a doctor.
Hey!
A lot of us are grounded, well grounded.
What did you study in the university?
I did my first degree, tourism management. For my master's, I did management of business information technology.
Wow. You are more.
I did journalism back home when I was in Nigeria.
Oh, so you have 3 degrees.
Journalism at the age of. Nabila is here.
Yes, I've sent her a message. I sent her a request.
I actually started acting journalism at the age of 18, way back in Nigeria, during those days of Prime People, Hearts magazine, Hints magazine.
Hints! Yeah. That we used to read when we were young.
Yeah, I used to be a popular columnist.
What was your column called?
Where I got the name Bossline.
Hints.
Hearts.
I remember Hints. Okay, Hints became Hearts. Or Hints, Hearts pulled out of Hints.
Like my editor then, Kayode Ajala, was the editor of Hints. And Hints was actually owned by the former Minister of Petroleum, Ike Wanchukwu. Did I got that right?
Are you serious? I can't see Nabila again. No.
Hello?
Oh, okay. Nabila is here.
Oh, Nabila is here.
Yes. I tried to add her. Maybe because she isn't following me. Hold on. So it was a minister that owned that Hints. That where the people used to write, hey. Come, why your story no they ever finish for that Hints? When I go start one story, person go buy like 5 episodes before the story finish. You guys did not read Hints. I used to use my money and buy it, and I used to shake pay for them. Hello, Nabila. Hi, Nabila.
Hello, Nabila.
I am following you now, Daddy Freeze.
Okay, Nabila, I'm gonna follow you right back. Before I bring you on, I was still talking to Yetunde. As in, we used to shake pay for you people. As in, we read sweet story, they'll just hang it in the middle. I think Nollywood learned how to do episode 1, episode.
Episode 1.
As in, Nollywood would do movie, you would think it's a series.
I know.
As in, Nollywood would do movie, they'll call the movie, let's say, Blood 1. Oh, sorry, Blood Out. That's the name of the movie. I'm just giving. You see, Blood Out, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, episode 7, episode 8. That's how one guy entered the.
Some people were really like crazy for it then.
We're all crazy for it too. All of us.
Because there was no internet then. There was nothing that you could relax with. So that's the only thing.
Yes. Now tell me the truth. Now I don't think do they still do Hints magazine now?
No. That's why I was telling you that romance journalism is dead right now in Nigeria.
Anything that people have to read. You know what is alive now? Twerking. Yeah, yo. That's what's alive. If you cannot twerk, nobody. I'm telling you.
Don't read anymore, unfortunately.
All these presidential candidates, everybody shouting P2B. If Tinubu comes to twerk now, everybody will follow him. It's twerk, they understand. The next day, Atiku comes and twerks, they will follow him. Now they understand. They read. We don't. Those days when we're growing up, you see, TV started at 4 o'clock when they first show Rainbow. Then after that Rainbow, you hear. You see, meaning that before that 4 o'clock, you either had to run around on a field, literally go and toast a girl at home, or read a book. Then it's not that when they did that, they will first put all the local programming that you feel like slapping them in the TV. Then they will give you maybe 30 minutes of cartoon. What?
Because we had no option.
Yes. So we had nothing to do but read. Now, only me, I can wake up in the morning, get on Instagram until 9 o'clock at night. Only Instagram has not gotten me bored. And guess what? There's Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Then there's Netflix. I have not read a book in 5 to 6 years. Anything I read
Did you read
is.
my book at all? I remember I gave you a copy.
Yes, I read a bit of it. To be honest, I read a bit of it. Where's my copy again? And I even said I was going to. But you see, all the books I've read recently are audiobooks. I'll just be doing something and be playing the book in the background.
Yeah, I've got audio of it.
Please send me the audio. Let me listen to it. It's easier for me. We Nigerians don't read. Okay, I read that book too recently because I was going to bring the guy here. Hey, what's the name of that book? Oh, I will show it to you now. I listened to the audio book. So that on its own. Now let me ask you a question. Sorry, let me tell you the name of the book I read, so I will not feel bad about it. Yes, that book by Rabbi Kefa Ben Kefa, The 4 Teachings of God. Yes, I read that. Now, those stories in Hints, where they try, people used to cook them up. Don't even lie now. That's because you guys held me hostage. I used to actually believe it. You just say, so Busola went home that day.
Some were true like stories though.
The ones you used to write, were they true?
Well, fiction. We combine fictions with true life sometimes.
So where do you get your inspiration from? You just walk on the bus stop and some of the story.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I audible? Okay. Yeah. So you have to combine fiction with true life for it to be sweet. It's like cooking a soup now. You have to add condiments to it. So,
I used to be sweet too. How do you know you were doing well? Like now, you can see since we came in the live, people have started joining. Before you know it, to be 400 people. How do you know you are doing well when you are selling Hints?
we were always sold out. We were always sold out, week in, week out. Even when we moved from Hints to Hearts, to Sweethearts, to what other ones, there were loads of them. And my editor kept, taking me to all of them because I was writing Pamela. There used to be a column called Pamela. Pamela was a prostitute, and I would write that.
Be like say you say sabi this will show work. How can you? It's like telling me now to come and write about.
Like it's just like a script writer. You study people, or like an actor.
Come. How do you study? How do you study prostitutes to write about prostitutes? Do you stand on the road and do your hand?
You
Honey,
ask questions.
honey.
You ask questions. Even if you have to go to all this, what do they call it?
Short time.
Short time. Yeah, you've got to like it used to be a duty for me.
Everybody here, I remember Pamela. People have no hope. People don't even read.
A guy wrote it to one of my colleagues, who was a guy, wrote Pamela too. So it was like switching. Okay, you write it today, you write it tomorrow. So it was, and I used to write one diary of one notorious girl at the uni. So I was writing that. I've forgotten the name now.
Someone said Daddy Freeze, Nabila doesn't look happy. Daddy Freeze, let her talk.
I'm sleepy, that's why. I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Someone said so erotic. Can you see Pastor Toby? Oluwatobi Loba, he is here.
Oh my God, PT!
Oluwatobi Loba.
PT! My brother, my blood.
Yeah, it's everybody's blood. Oluwatobi Loba.
Me and we are special.
You are special, Abi PT Shengbo. You are special. So the rest of us, we are just ordinary, Abi. All right, so we have Nabila here before we continue talking about hints and hearts and
I want to ask the audience a question. Do they really know Nabila? Do they know who Nabila is?
We can just see her. She's fine. She hot. She gorgeous. And then she's a doctor.
She needs to be introduced before she shares her story.
Okay, Nabila, please share your story. Introduce yourself, please.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Clearly, Nabila.
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah. My name is Dr. Nabila Fash.
Doctor, as in, like you're a medical doctor or you have a PhD?
Honorary PhD.
Oh, you have an honorary PhD. Okay, nice to meet you, Dr. Nabila Fash. Okay, continue introducing yourself because we all want to meet you.
I'm a PR expert, and I think I've had my share of of some news in the media a few years ago, and
people are typing Orisha Femi's wife. Oh my goodness. You are Orisha Femi's wife.
Yeah,
Hey. What is on Oluwa?
Oluwami is Jesus Christ.
No, but what I'm saying is, wow, former wife. Okay, are you his wife or former wife?
Oopsie. Separated, but not yet divorced.
Not yet divorced. Wow. And I used to like Orisha Femi's musical.
You used to. What happened?
I love his music.
I'm his fan.
I don't know too many of them. There was one that was trending the other day. He was. I never met him one-on-one, even though I know most people in the music industry. I never met him one-on-one. I don't know why. So what happened, guys? What happened? You guys seem to be such a cool couple. What happened? Or we're just reading and seeing what's going on social media. What really happened?
Oopsie. So I don't think it's anything crazy, but like every marriage, there's always trouble, and I think talking about domestic violence, I want people to know that domestic violence is not just physical. So let's not just concentrate on the physical part, Domestic violence can be, verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, even financial abuse is domestic violence. So let's not get to people just want to stay with the physical part of domestic violence. So for me, I've had like few news in the media about domestic violence, um, cheating,
Cheating?
and
Did you say
different.
cheating?
Come again? That
Did you
didn't
say
hear you.
cheating?
Yeah, cheating.
Was he cheating?
Was he cheating?
That Yetunde's laugh, that laugh is unholy. It's not.
I'm not here to put anyone down because at the end of the day, before you marry someone, you love them. That's why you decide to get married to them. And when you get married, you're not open to divorce or get separated or whatever. But for me, I think when I saw, I'm sorry. So when I saw Bimbo stuff last week,
Oh yeah.
I think I got PTSD from that, like because it's like repetition of stuff, like when you have like issues and people keep saying, go back, make it work, then you go back, you make it work, and it get worse. Or sometimes you go back and you think you're making the progress, and there are secrets. I think for me, the worst thing I've ever had to deal with is, as a very private person, is to have my business out there. And people think they could tell me how to live my life or whatever. And my marriage to me was very sacred in the beginning, but it became, I became someone else in marriage because I think at some point I was even out of order, like when you get to this place of pain and you can't even control yourself anymore. So I remember last year, February, I was at work and I got a call that there's been a strange woman in my house, and I remember driving back to my house, which was just 3 to 4 minutes drive from my office to the house. And I remember the only thing I picked up from my office while driving home was my mobile phone. And I remember calling my daughter. I don't have my own biological child, but I got into the marriage with kids from other women, which I actually embraced as mine. And
it's okay, Nabila. It's okay. Sorry, my darling.
Okay, Nabila.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
And I was their mommy, and I was so happy to be their mom. Yeah. So I remember calling my daughter on my way home, and they picked up the phone, but she wasn't the one that picked up the phone. And I could remember the conversation while driving home. She was in distress. She was crying and saying, "Don't hurt me." And I could remember him telling her, "You want to break my marriage. You want to break my marriage." And she was saying, "Daddy, you're beating me. Daddy, you're hurting me." And I was driving as far as I can just to get home. And when I got home, I didn't see the person, but my daughter was a bit shaking, and she had to okay. So, what am I driving at here? The first thing I could do, I was mad. I was really upset. It was a Monday I would never forget. And the first thing I did was to take my phone and went on my story, and I wrote a whole loads of rubbish, like whoever the woman is that came to my house to do this morning while I was at work. You're lucky I didn't meet you in my house, because it would have been a different story. And I remember a lot of people coming at me, telling me that your business is not with the woman, it's with the man who brought the lady to the house.
They always say that.
And I remember giving another chance after that. While some people think I was a fool, but being raised by a single mother myself, I was the normal Nigerian mentality of you have to make your marriage work. And I really wanted my marriage to work. But what really broke the camel's back was that I was living a lie with someone I was really deeply, madly in love with. And I thought that was my happy ending. Because, I've got fertility. We had issues having our own biological kids. But I was a lovely mother of 2 wonderful girls from 2 different women I do not know, that I'm not related to. But this person still see it like they were doing me justice by having kids outside without my knowledge. Yeah. So it became important for my sanity, for my mental health, to take a decision. A decision that wasn't easy, but definitely a decision that made me be here today, like I'm here today. And I can say this story because if I didn't make that decision, who knows? Being Bod didn't get a chance to tell her story.
To tell her story. Now, I want to take you back. The abuse in your marriage, was it psychological as a result of cheating, in your opinion, or was it physical? Did he actually lay his hands on you?
I think there were times this person was being physical. I think physical like twice. But the most important thing, like the most important abuse I had, was more of verbal and emotional abuse, I would say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
And the cheating. Let's talk about the cheating, because I just want to hear your side. I always try to be as fair as possible and allow every party say their own side of the story, just for the sake of fairness. The cheating, in your opinion, was it just a one-off? Was it just a Nigerian man? Nigerian men can cheat here and there, but they love their wives. There was something I posted today on my Instagram. I don't know if you saw it. I said many Nigerian men are actually very faithful, especially to their side chicks. The average Nigerian man is faithful to his side chick. He has just one side chick. And because I saw a video of a man destroying the range his side chick got from her other boyfriend. So he was angry and he was pained that after all I did for this girl, apart from my wife in Canada, this is the only other girl, this is my only side chick. And I'm like, so, and it seemed normal to a lot of people. I want to ask you, is it normal? Was it a one off or was it a constant part of your life?
I had to deal with it constantly.
Hmm.
And at some point, they told me it came with the job.
Oh.
They told me it came with the industry this person is. Like, it's normal.
Oh.
I have to deal with it.
Hmm.
I even had people say to me, like, just have a child and then your concentration will be on your child, not on the man. And I'm thinking, how does that make it go away? Like, so you have a child and the cheating goes on. But, for me, at some point, I became numb to the cheating. Like, okay, I saw it as being normal when it's not meant to be so. But like I said, I could take anything. But having a child on me without telling me, I felt really betrayed. Like, I felt like this person would say, I love my wife. Well, how do you love someone and you hurt them so deeply?
I wonder.
So where is he now? Where are you now in the relationship?
I filed for divorce.
When did you file?
3 months ago.
What is he saying? Is he accepting it, or what is he saying?
He's not accepting it. I think he feels like it's going to be like one of those days where he will come out and say something and everything would be under the carpet and would have to take pictures and form couple goals again for the media, but for the gram. But no, I think women
Could it be, let me ask a question, me playing devil's advocate, could it be that he was just trying to have a child of his own?
After you've had three from three different women.
Oh, so it wasn't just a one-off. See me defending somebody here.
Yeah, so then you got married.
Okay, you already had 3 kids before you married him.
He had 2 before he had 2. Then there was one on the way when we're about to get married.
More people they try.
We try as which I was like, because you didn't tell me about that other one, I would accept the 2 into our home. But that other one, you could look after her from afar, but don't bring her into my home. Then a year ago, and this is really funny because by my calculation, the time he came out to stay to Nigeria to beg his wife to come back home, he already had another woman pregnant. So how could you do that?
Wow.
How could you come out to tell Nigerians to beg a woman to come home when you've done something that crazy?
So the way you're talking about this seems like this cheating was a constant part of your marriage. from your explanation, how did you deal with it? Maybe could it be that he was looking for a son? Let me speak for my Nigerian men.
I think that's you actually hit the nail on the head. That
What an excuse.
Yeah, that's the excuse. Looking for a son.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
And
now,
I'm happy for him because he finally got a son, right? So I'm kind of happy for him.
oh wow! So he got what he was looking for. Now, I want to
Yeah.
ask you a question. I want to ask you a question here. This is a personal question, but I'm just trying to build up to what could have been the issue. How was the intimate life, as in the fakafiki, between the two of you? Was it
Between us?
good?
Maybe the
Between
fakafiki
us?
was good.
Yes.
That's why Nabila said.
Oh, it was good, very good.
So what was he looking for outside if it was good?
My husband could be out there, but I'm his home. When he comes back home, he needs to satisfy his wife. Yeah.
So when the one he eats outside is not enough, he will come and eat at home again.
No, yeah. Food is different from takeaway, right? Is that not what they say? Cooked homemade food is kind of different.
Oh, Nabila,
But you weren't you afraid if what you're saying is true, you'd be afraid of STIs now?
Very true.
Weren't you afraid of STIs?
Very, very true. So
did you ever get an STI? Let's start with that. Did you ever get an STI? An infection? That means he was careful now. He was at least protecting you.
Careful, but he had babies.
Oh, but he had babies. Hey.
Careful, but he had babies.
This your husband is difficult to defend, and I've tried very hard to defend. I just can't. Hey, they had babies. Oh, chai. Now, what were the type of women he was going after? Was there a specific spec?
Don't let me go there, Daddy Freeze.
You have to go there. We're already there. We are at the bus stop. You are saying let's not enter the house. We are at the gate already. Let's just open the gate and enter the house.
Not the kind of people I could want to speak to, or they could want to speak to me. Not those kind of people.
No, as in how?
You see, right now, for me, it's all about healing, moving on, and
where were you guys living? Where were you guys living?
Living. And again, let me say this, and I think this is the reason why a lot of women keep quiet. They don't want to share their story, and they don't want to come out.
Exactly.
You see,
when I shared mine, we should share too much.
We should learn. We should learn not to use people's pains as entertainment news or exclusive news. I was looking at. I'm sorry, I keep referring back to Bimbo, but I say this each time there is a domestic violence issue out there. Every blog wants to make it an exclusive news. Every blog wants traffic. But do they take the right, appropriate steps? Because, wait, if you say a man is beating his wife and the wife was in coma or the wife went to the hospital and you're reporting this news, Why are you not tagging the right authorities? Why are you tagging the police? Why are you not tagging domestic violence agencies? Why is it just the gossip part that you're interested in? Why is it that people want to shame someone that is a single mother? Why is it that people want to shame someone that walked out of their marriage? Why is it that people want to shame someone that has been battered and trying to heal? I remember I had a meeting one time when I left home, and I was with my friend. Bless her. She was there for me at that point. And I remember having a meeting and going into that office. I felt ashamed. Why was I ashamed? If people stare at me, I'm not thinking they're staring at me because I was well dressed for the meeting. What I'm thinking of is, are they staring at me because they've read my story online? I've been beaten. Are they staring at me because they've read my story online that my husband brought a woman home or something? So sometimes, let's, as a society, we need to do better for the people going through domestic violence. We need to do better for people in toxic marriage. Same people that would say to Bimbo, leave, are the same people that would say to her, where are you going after 5 children?
Exactly.
No man is going to look at you. You're even still better. Do you know that some people's own is, there are all loads of rubbish that people say. And I'm glad that a lot of women now know that marriage is not a do or die affair anymore. Like, you need, as a woman, I preach women empowerment, not in other ways, but in a way to say to women, get something doing. I can share my story today because I have a roof over my head. I have a job. I pay my bills. That's why I can be confident to share my story.
Let me ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
Did you ever cheat on him in the marriage?
Did I ever what?
Cheat on him.
I swear with my life and everything. I was with that man for 6 years, and I didn't cheat on him in the marriage, or I didn't cheat on him from the day I met him.
Oh, wow.
So when I say, it's from the day, I don't count from my marriage. I count from the day I met this person, I've been with this person, and this person has been the only person I've been with up until the time I filed for divorce.
So, there's cheating and there's embarrassing cheating. The kind of cheating that most men cheat. Let's make allowance for that, even though I do not support it and I do not preach it. Most men cheat. But there are two types. There's the embarrassing cheating. There's the anything in skirts cheating.
Anything in skirts.
And
That's
there's
the kind of one I got. Yeah, that's the kind of one I got.
As in those kind that they'll be chasing things around the estate, around the neighborhood. Is that the one?
Those kind of cheating is the one I got.
No,
the one that you could know that maybe there is one small hotel next in the next street to your house, and this person could be there with somebody else. Yeah, but like I said.
No. Sorry. I want to take you back there. Sorry. In your neighborhood, there could be a hotel, but which kind of girls will follow a married man to a hotel near his house?
What kind of girl will follow a married man into his matrimonial home?
matrimonial home. He brought someone there.
But what, as in, which kind of girls were these? Were these working class? Were they students? I'm
Of course, a working class woman wouldn't do that.
So what kind of girls were these? As in, I'm sorry, but I find it a bit perplexing.
It's Sarewagba kind of girl.
Sarewagba. But those Sarewagba, as in, where did they come from? As in, which work did they do?
Sarewagba kind of work.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what is okay, like can I say prostitutes? These were prostitutes?
Not necessarily.
But they are whatever they have, that is phrase.
Where were you staying? Let me even ask you, what area were you staying?
Lekki.
Me, I thought it was like Ajegunle. No, because all these Sarewagbas is Ajegunle.
Oh my God.
So all these kind of Sarewagba, they this our Lekki way with this so. So these girls, okay, during the day when he was not carrying them, what were they doing? I just want to know. I'm curious. What kind of work? What kind of homes were they? Were they people's daughters?
I don't know these people. I don't know them. The good thing, I would not even lie to you. Like he will tell you, I have never caught him red-handed, right?
Okay.
But you know these things, right? I've seen things. I have receipts of stuff. I get sent DMs by some girls. I get sent.
As in, what do they write in the DM? Hello, our patron or our elder sister in this. Our Yale wa, mother wa.
I get sent DMs by some girls.
What do they say in the DM?
Now some do say just to inform me. Some do say to inform me that my husband is trying to get with them. Yeah. And I'll say thank you for letting me
But those girls say they want to spoil somebody's home. How can you send your Yale?
But they send you with a receipt. So they they'll screenshot the message and send to me.
And you have these kind of messages.
What are they trying to get at? I don't understand. Why would you call?
I think some of them that do not want to go.
Oh, so they want you to go instead.
No, maybe they don't want to go, but they want me to know that this is happening. And I remember, that's why mental health is very important. Like, seriously, let's not even look at all these. We can laugh about all these, right? But there are some people that could be in a psychiatric hospital right now for every trauma this could have caused them. Exactly. You remember when I started this conversation, I said I became someone I wasn't, and I became another version of me I didn't know. So I remember at some point I put some girls together. Like I've seen their messages, and I know like there's something going on. So what did I do? I came on Instagram, right? And I put them in a group. And I named the group with his name and said somebody's cocksuckers. I put all of them in the group. And I said to them, I just want you guys to meet yourselves.
And what now happened in the group?
How did that go?
Oh, some quickly blocked me. Some said they didn't know he was married.
Uh-oh.
So
They didn't
it
know
was
indeed.
like, yeah, so it was like different stuffs. They were just like, they said different stuff, and it was now I see, now I think about those things and I laugh. But come to think of it, with somebody where I am right now with my mental health, would I do that? Hell no. Like, I would never want to speak to any girl. I would never even want to ask any girl what you're doing with a man. Like, it's none of my business now, because I'm kind of in a good place. But at that point, you become mad. Like, you're mad. Everything makes you mad. Your husband goes out, he comes back. In the night, you're not sleeping because you want to check the phone, because you know there's something there you need to check. Your husband travels, he brings back his bag from travel. You need to check the bag because you know you're gonna find something in the bag. So mentally,
You know, there were many stories I hear about guys who cheat, and I'll still say you are lucky, because there was one particular girl who wrote me. Apparently, her man was sleeping with all the house girls in their estate. They were staying in
I
an
never
estate.
had a female worker. I couldn't have it. I would have a chef, but my chef has to be a man because I trust myself. I'm not gonna look at my chef or my gate man. But I could never have an housemaid, a female housemaid. Why? Why would I do that? That's like,
Hey.
I've had an instance where the neighbor's maid was talking while I was in the kitchen, just wanting me to know that my husband is talking to her.
Your neighbor's house girl.
Yeah.
Hey, Father Lord.
No, now, Nabila.
Yeah. I can't lie on nobody. I love my husband so much. It hurts me that I'm doing this. It kind of put me in the spot because Boss Line actually told me I'm not here to say my story, but just to talk about
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
toxic
I'm probing.
marriage.
I'm
And just
sorry.
say
I'm probing.
something.
Let's.
I would never, even up to now, I would never, want to say anything bad about him because, I always make excuses for him. Sometimes the way we grow up, our environment, the things that we experience as a child, it kind of builds who we are, even when we become adults. So for him, it's always like one excuse or the other, growing up in the slum, not having maybe the kind of love you're supposed to have when growing up. But you know what, women, we can't play the role of God, the role of a mother, the role of a therapist, or everything in the life of a man. Marriage is meant to be beautiful, and once it's no longer beautiful, I don't think there is any point wasting our lives.
I
The
get
man,
you. I
and I'm
get you.
talking right now, is both ways. So if you as a man, you're not finding happiness in your marriage anymore, you should leave. If you as a woman, you're not finding happiness in your marriage anymore, you should leave. It's not a do or die affair. I don't even want to be enemies with this person. I shared 6 good years with this person. Why would I want to be an enemy? He taught me how to be tolerant. He taught me how to be a mother from nowhere, I got married and I became a mom immediately. I got married, like, looking after two girls, going for school meetings, being there for them in every
Okay,
milestone
those
in their
two
life.
girls were his daughters from other women.
Yes.
Oh,
And I was a
wow.
mother to them. So you know what? No matter what happens, I'll give myself a lot of credit. I'll pat myself on the back and say, Nabila, well done. You did well.
Well done to you.
Because
Well done, my sister. Oh.
yeah, those girls could never say I was a bad stepmom. Those girls would choose me over and over and over and over and over again. And to let them go was heartbreaking for me, but I had to, because I need to move on with my life.
Well,
It's fine. We just don't want any kind of story anymore where people see marriage as a do or die affair and somebody dies. Because once you're gone, you're gone.
You are gone.
Like, if in a week, 2 weeks, no one is gonna remember you again.
Straight.
So we need to live. Like, we need to live our best lives too. So for me, I'm thankful that I've got this platform. And Daddy Freeze, let me say something to you. I know I said something about I don't like when blogs do exclusive for traffic.
Yeah.
I want everybody watching to know this is the first time I'm speaking out. This is the first time people know everything I'm saying, because the only people that know this are close family and friends, very close ties. And that this has been on for almost 4 months, and it's the first time you will see it on any blog.
I didn't even know. Me, I'm not even seeing it.
Not. You know why? Because also my cycle changed. So I had a very small cycle. So like before, if I shout in my house, it's gonna be in the blog, and it's going to be from a reliable source or from a close source. So right now I've got like a very small cycle. So this, I'm sure some of my friends are watching right now, and they're looking at me and saying, what's going on? You said you don't want this out in the media. Why are you doing this? I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for the next woman that feels ashamed to come out of that marriage. I'm doing this woman that is mentally battered, emotionally battered, and doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not easy. I would not even lie. It's not easy. I still have days where I roll on my big bed wishing I had my husband next to me. But would I
So
ride
come. Yeah. In all this period, I want to ask you a question, personal question.
Yeah.
In all this, have you ever refused him fakafiki?
No, after I fought for divorce, of course, no any fakafiki for him anymore.
But before then?
Yeah, before, maybe if I'm upset or something, yeah.
Then when you're upset and you say, when you're upset, for instance, and you say, you know what, I'm not giving you this thing. I'm not giving you no cookie this night. What does he now do?
Wow.
Yeah, I do that. I feel a lot of women do that too, no?
So when you do that, what does he now do? What's his response?
Yeah, my husband, sorry, I keep saying my husband. I'm used to this, my husband thing. I'm root abokoku, you know? So it's so hard to stop this, my husband thing. So, sometimes he also says, I'll never touch you again. Me too. Then, next minute, do the same. Baby, now. Why are you doing this now?
Ingo they beg. Ha, Mugbe.
Men beg, oh.
Sorry, Femi. Sorry, Femi. I said this. I'm sorry. I said this.
Some even cry.
In they cry.
Some cry. Oh,
Sorry, Femi. Sorry, Femi. Don't answer bus line.
Hey.
Some cry.
Ah, Nabila now. Nabila, please now. Nabila. Ah.
Yes.
Nabila, give me this cookie now. Eh? I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. I'm just trying to make a very tough situation a bit more livable. I'm sorry that your marriage is going the route it is going.
You know, I'm grateful it's going the route it is going. I'm sorry about
A lot of people are saying you still love him. How true is that?
Oh, love. Of course, it was my husband for 6 years. I shared my life with this person. The only man I had for 6 years. Not all married women can actually say that. That they were in marriage even for a year or 2 years and they didn't look outside or didn't step out.
Married women of these days.
Yeah, for me, you know, something I take pride in. That from the moment I met him up until the time I decided to let go, that I never stepped out of my marriage. Even when I know that he was cheating, it didn't make me feel like I needed to get back at him by cheating on him. What do I do when he cheats? I make more money. I just concentrate on my job and I make money. But you know,
let's talk about finances. Who was the breadwinner in the family, in the marriage?
Don't go there.
out of respect for what we have, I would not answer that question. For what we had.
No, because it will also help us understand. I'm sorry, I'm trained to ask questions. There's no question on the face of the earth that I will not ask you.
I know.
So, but let us, because some people will say, you know why I'm asking you this?
Out of respect for him as a man, and you know.
You know why I'm asking you this question? Hold on. Do you know why I'm asking you this question?
I would not want to go that.
Do you know why I'm asking you this question?
Yeah.
Because at the end of this, people are going to put 2 and 2 together. You see, knowledge is a combination of information that is gathered from data. Let me explain to you. You're going to get off the live, and people are going to make the assumption that he was feeding her now. She didn't have a right to complain about.
Assume now that if we
So
okay.
Okay, they want to assume that. They want to assume. So let me answer it this way if they want to assume.
Okay.
Number one, I never married this person for money. I am a self-made woman. My work speaks for itself. I manage top international footballers. If that can tell you how okay I am, then you should know. I worked with MultiChoice for over 6 years before I started my own company. But some of us are not social media billionaires or millionaires. We are real life money makers.
Millionaires. Yes, so tell them, sister.
So you have answered the question without answering the question. It's okay.
So
it's okay.
from that, they can decide to now.
Let them assume.
Together. Then they can now assume.
I like that. I like the fact that you're defending him. That does make a lot of sense.
No, I can't rubbish him. Why should I do that? I'm not trained that way. I'm an educated woman. And Ijalote to abi Torindo way abi
Torindo way.
So I can't be bitter. You know why I can't be bitter? Because I have my life put together.
Now let's talk about your work. These international footballers that you manage, and many of them are millionaires in pounds and in other foreign currencies. Don't they make passes at you? Don't they? Just me asking you.
to your table. You don't want anything that will cause wahala. So for me, when is work is work. And out of respect for the man I married, I make sure that everyone I work with get to meet him, talk to him. I speak to them freely in his presence. I don't have like no shady kind of talk with any one of them behind. So it's I'm open. I'm like a book. You can just read me. And I'm blessed to be able to be the first person to give some of these footballers their first major endorsements in Nigeria. So they too, they will not want to jeopardize their bread, But if further things enter into it, tomorrow when money enter and I can't hold your money, fish out outside, if you talk, say where my money. So business for us is business.
Final question. Is there any hope of fixing this particular marriage?
No, Daddy Freeze. I can't be that woman. I tried when I had 2 children by 2 different women as my kids, as my daughters. They are still my daughters. But right now, I can't have 4 kids by 4 different women, and I'm still trying to have my own child. No.
Talking about having your own child, how old are you? Sorry, Emma Binu. Go see question, tell me okay, Barry.
Old enough that I can still have a child.
I just ask because as you did like this, fine like this, can't get small money in your hand.
I'm not old not to have a child.
Let me tell you something.
I know one day I might just go to the sperm bank and get a sperm donor. Oh, we have this fine B-boy. And have a baby.
Because guys, where they my life, don't they look you? All these guys, they are not well. No answer anybody for this my life.
But anybody that is looking at me now needs to come correct too. As in, now standards are freaking high. Like, seriously,
what are you trying to say? The standards were not high before.
I'm going back to where I belong. I'm going back to my class, So,
you are going back to your class. Hey! She's going back to her class.
Yes. So you got to be someone that is really educated, highly intelligent.
Ẹ̀yin jọ̀mọ́ ṣe ń gbọ́, wọ́n lẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀wé nísìn pé tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn ò mind but nísìn ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀wé. Wọ́n lẹ tún gbọ́dọ̀ nílàákàyè.
You gotta have a pedigree. We gotta
wọ́n ní tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn lè gba ẹni tí ò ní pedigree but nísìn kọ́.
No, you gotta have a pedigree. Like, we need to profile you right now. Sometimes love is blind, but sometimes you can still now. When love clear for your eyes, I gotta shine. I gotta open.
Daddy Shoki is here. Daddy Shoki say,
Daddy Shoki is my daddy. You know what? Daddy Freeze, you know what? After I drop from this life, I think by tomorrow I need to turn off my phone and just have my working phone on, because I will have like 1 billion calls and people are gonna be like, why didn't you reach out to me? Like, Daddy Shoki is like father to us. Like, he will practically drive to my house and be like, no, you guys. A lot of people have been there, like they've been father, mother to this stuff, like to this marriage. And I'm not sorry to say I didn't disappoint you guys, because I know all those agbalagba advice, all those elderly advice and all those things, Yeah, I respect everyone, but this time, you know why I'm happy right now, Daddy Freeze? because a lot of time I had all these problems, and when it comes out on social media, everyone has their opinion. So people tell me what to do. Go back. Why are you with this person? Leave your marriage. Do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? July 4th, when I made my decision, no one was there. It was just me. I didn't have to talk to anyone. I made my decision by myself. So no one can come out and put it on anyone. I've had to rub my debt and my shit on close friends that didn't have anything to do with my marriage. Some of my friends had to take, they had to take, some dragging for my marriage. They've had to, accuse them of breaking my marriage and everything. But this time around, you can't spin it on anyone. This is all Nabila's decision. This is no family's decision. This is Nabila's decision. Nabila is deciding what is good for her. So all I want people to is please respect my decision this time. Just respect my decision for once. And please, and I'm also begging the bloggers, because they will lift all these things we're saying here. They will lift it from your page, Daddy Freeze, and they will try to, change headings. Femi's wife said, they will pick the bad ones. They would not say the ones how I've been kind of, being diplomatic the way I talk, and I don't want to rub shit on anyone or trying to be respectful. They will want to do
Now the Shoki say he's crying now.
Just to drive traffic.
Don't bother about all
No, I'm not bothered about them, because right now, believe me, I have a lawyer. If you write, I'm telling you bloggers, and I'm looking at you guys, your faces. If you write things that are untrue about me, I need money as I did right now, and I go pay me. Like, I go sue on her ass, and I go pay me. But you know what? It's all good, because we are all media people, and we know how this works. But the truth, what I'm trying to say is, we need to be more accommodating and respect people's decision, so they don't go into their shell. If you know that when you come out, you will have support and people will not judge. See, like me now, if you see me for road, I did my brand new Prado. So what do you want judge? Not your car that I did fly. So what do you want judge? What do you they judge? They judge me when I did cruise inside my Prado for road. How you want to judge me? Say I come off for marriage. And no be man buy me the car, and me buy myself my car, they drive. So, but what about women that can't find their feet yet? What about the women that if they leave, they don't know when their next meal will come out from? So this is the time we need to come together. If we need to start a foundation to help people that are going through this, and know that, we support you. We got your back. It will be better than exclusive news, and I'm glad I'm talking to you, Daddy Freeze, because I've had some people come in my DM to ask me stories. How far will you marry? Your husband no wish you, congratulate you, wish you happy birthday, waiting they happen, and I'm like, nothing is happening. So now you people can hear from the horse's mouth. This is my story to tell. It's not your story to tell. So I beat you to it, and thank you, Boss Line, for giving me this opportunity. I didn't plan to say all this, but and Daddy Freeze, thank you. From when we were in UI, I was in UI for a while. Yeah.
So you knew me in UI?
You might know me back then in UI.
What was your name? What?
With Tosin, Tinu, Funke.
Which Funke?
What? Yeah, Funke.
Which Funke? What's her surname?
Which Funke?
Pasoya.
What set were you in UI? Were you my set?
19. No, I didn't finish in UI. I was just there for a year before I moved to Unilag.
Oh, but what set were you in? Were you my set?
No, your set.
Were you my junior?
Your junior.
You were the junior one.
Yeah.
So how did you now know me?
I know you in school now.
I
Everybody
know.
knew you and your ex.
And my ex, hey, they Google knew us.
You people were campus couple girls back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, the life in campus and the mentality on campus is different from when you come to the real world.
Mm.
When we came to the real world, it was tough. Congratulations, my sister. Um, Congratulations, as in you're moving on, Nabila. Sometimes when you are in business class and the toilet in business class is not working and you decide to go to economy to use the bathroom, when you're done, you're still going to come back to business class. It doesn't mean you move to economy. So you need to come back to your class. According to you, no be me talk anything before they say I talk anything. So make I just leave them like that. Make I just leave the matter before you enter another level.
Is
Um,
Kemi on this line?
which Kemi?
Kemi, are you here? Somebody's waiting. Kemi. I
Kemi.
don't know if she's still here.
Kemi, what's her son name? Sorry, I'm looking at the list of. Give me a handle. Let me call her in.
Gist with Kems or something.
Gist with Kems. I thought I saw something like that. Gist
Whether they don't go sleep.
with. Yeah, we took a while.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but this story was very deep. Gist with Kems. Okay, I think I've seen her. I don't know if she's still around, but I've seen. Okay, what time is your flight? Oh, she's right here.
Oh, it's not left.
I stayed awake.
Oh, bless you.
All right, tell us your story, Gist with Kems.
Yes. Daddy Freeze, hello, how are you? Nabila, thanks for sharing your story. And like I keep telling Boss Line, you know, she's opened a lot of things. And one thing I say with women is when you're healed is when you're able to say your story. Because if you're not healed, it's very difficult for you to share the story, because at that point, you just want to get through the next stage. So, like you said, it doesn't matter what anybody says, just go through your own emotions, go through your time, and just step into your zone and become Nabila. The Nabila you always knew before marriage. You know? Just own it. You know, it's simple as. Yeah? Yes. So this is me, I'm Kemi, but most people know me as Just with Kems. I do radio. I'm introducing myself. Before you say I should introduce myself.
You do radio where?
In London.
Oh, what radio station is that in London?
It's called Tribe Urban Radio. So I do a show called Talk and Vibe on Sundays from 7 to 9 p.m. And then I started Just with Kems when we went into COVID, because obviously we couldn't have the opportunity to go to radio. So I said, you know what other way to entertain myself than to do it from home in my comfort zone.
And Kemi is a single mother.
Oh, tell us your story.
Well, I have two boys, 18 and 20.
Wow.
You don't look it.
Trust me, I don't get It's called Drink Lots of Water and Mind Your Business and Just Love Yourself. You go further. You go a lot further, you know. I've got two kids, two wonderful boys who are my strength. And I kind of share similarities with everyone speaking. But my story, I got married straight after university, love of my life, everything else, you know. But before I got married, I should have kind of picked up on certain things, but I didn't. Because as women and as men, when we fall in love, we kind of cover our eyes to certain things. We you know, you shade away certain things that are actually staring at you. And I think one of the triggers for me, we got married in December. I was kind of heavily pregnant, 6 months pregnant anyway, because we've been dating for a long time on and off. So we got married, and the night before my marriage, because I have a very close relationship to my father, I was sitting in bed and I was crying. And being pregnant, you will blame it on emotions, not realizing that it was something that I was going through, rather than listening to that. So I said to my dad came to me and said, whatever decision that you make now, I will embrace it. You're my daughter. It doesn't matter whether you get married or not, you're still my child. So I will let you go and just make your decision. But that's still when I went ahead with the marriage. But going back, I should have triggered because in our on and off relationship, there were times that he would stalk men who were interested in me and call them up and say, she's my future wife, so leave her alone. But I didn't know this. I would just realize that somebody's interested and suddenly he disappears. And then there was a day he came to my house and we had a massive fight. I came out worse, being a small girl. And he came, he begged my parents, he begged the whole family. My sisters were quite young, so
they always beg.
Trust me, they will beg, even call his parents to come and beg. We thought, okay, things will simmer down. Hence, I should have still listened. But, like I said, when you're young in love. But for me, a lot of people were saying, well, you're too young to marry. But I was always one of the oldest person in my family because I'm come from a family of 3. Although I have older sisters from my dad's side, which I embrace as well. But my thing is, I've always been very matured for my age. So I embraced marriage very easily. I was almost a mother figure to everybody anyway. So it wasn't a choice not to do. But like I said, I just ignored some of those signs. Now, went into marriage, exactly what you're saying, Nabila. You go into marriage, you forget about every other man because you want to concentrate on your marriage. You want your marriage to work and not have, how can I say it, anything to want you to do something you don't want to do. Because all it takes is for you to have an argument with your husband and then one guy shows interest or maybe a shoulder to cry on and suddenly you switch, But I always stayed true to my husband. But I think for him, he always had an issue with me because I was a people person. People always zoned into me. Even if I wasn't interested, people were always zoning into me. And that was just my nature because I was somebody who people will talk to and I feel at ease because they know whatever they say stays with me. It doesn't go anywhere else. So a few years down the line, we started having arguments, but I kind of started saying to myself exactly what Boss Man said. You think here is a guy, maybe he's been hurt, he's experienced certain things from his family. So here you are the angel, you want to change the mindset so that he knows that love doesn't always have to be because you've experienced it, you're going to bring it into the marriage you're in. Okay? But hey, so I used to find ways that when we're about to have a heated argument, I'll write a long epistle and put it on the table and disappear for a couple of hours so that I know he will definitely read the letter I put there. And most of the times it used to work. But like I said...
Or you go wife.
I swear.
But that was me because I'll tell you something about me, which a lot of people don't know. Growing up, I had a lot of anger issues. So my way of doing things was to connect with a pen and paper and put it down rather than have confrontation with you. Because when I see red, I see red. And there's nothing, whether you have my mom, dad, doesn't matter. If I'm angry, I'm angry, So I learned to build myself so that I don't get angry over little things. I just, one of those things, you just get angry and it builds up. And then when you do one tiny thing, I'll just explode. So I learned how to teach myself that, people will do whatever they're going to do. People are going to say whatever they want to say. At the end of the day, I am me. So I'm just going to enjoy myself and just do whatever it is,
So for how long were you married for?
I was actually with him 3 years before marriage, and altogether, I think we were together going on 9 years. 9 good years.
I did 7. You tried, you did 9.
Now, if I may ask...
They always say the first 5 years, isn't it? They say it's either make or break.
So after the first 5 years, what did you feel?
I felt the person I married wasn't really open with me with certain things. I received it with open arms, but I just felt it wasn't the same coming back to me. So it was almost like he's always in competition with me. You know, if I do this, you know, and I, you know, even times when things were rocky, I would go there because I grew up in this country. I started working from 17, so there was nothing I could not do because I held my own, you know. So for me, it was like every time I went for a job or I went for something, it's almost like he had some kind of vendetta with me. And that's when I started realizing that, why are you in competition with your wife, your so-called wife? Understand? Because at the end of the day, whatever I do, I'm doing it for the family. No child needs to go without just because dad is not doing whatever. Here I am, my mother, I'm capable of doing anything. So I would rise and say, you know what, maybe things are not financially okay. Let me rise and just do something so that at least we are okay. You know? Even I'm going to say this to you, and only my mom and a few members of the family know about this. So when I was pregnant with my second son, because I already knew I wanted 2 children, and it's a discussion we always had. He was like, you can't have a second child, you need to go and abort the child. I was like, we're married. I've had 1 child already, second one's on the way. Really? Like, thanks. So for a long time, nobody in his family or anybody actually knew I was pregnant until the stomach just came out at 7 months.
But why would he want you to abort it?
His own reasons. And I will tell you, there was a lot of cheating. So Nabila, I can connect with you. I can connect with you.
Now, let me say something though. I agree with the cheating and all, but sometimes having a child, I remember an instance in my former marriage. My ex got, even though in the court papers she said I took her to have the abortion, the story is she got pregnant and she just got a job. And the job, if I remember clearly, would have had an issue if she was pregnant so soon. And I don't know how to say that. I will not throw anybody under the bus, but I'm just trying to throw some light on what you raised. And here's the thing, yeah. I didn't want a 3rd child with her. I didn't want a 3rd child. And I'm not sure she also wanted it. So sometimes, this is just me sometimes having a child,
I like it because
having a child is a decision 2 people should make. Now, you say it is your body, but when you give birth to that child is going to eat my money and my time and my care. Do I have enough money, time, and care to accommodate another child? These are conversations. I'm just trying to pull out something.
I'm gonna play that devil's advocate. I notice you are like me.
you understand? So just in that instance, in everything else, I agree with what you're saying. But you see, many women will say, he wants me to have an abortion, but we're married. I'm like, having a child is not easy. Let me give you an example. School fees, for instance, is minimum 500,000 naira, unless you're going to send them to Surulere. So,
but why didn't you use your condom?
Condoms break.
Like, as if you're in my mind.
Sorry, condoms break.
Why did you use condom?
Condoms break.
Oh, okay.
Aside then, I know people who are on coil.
You got her pregnant at the end of it.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe because I'm with women today. You guys got pregnant, because if you had said no, he would have stopped. At least in the UK where people are. I'm sorry, just my opinion. I think even though having a child is a woman's decision, largely, it also involves the man, because you don't know what it was the time you went to meet him and say sleep with me, that he slept with you and you got pregnant. He could have been in inside your marriage. He couldn't have been the one asking for it 100%. I'm sure there were some 10% where you were the one asking.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear that side of the story.
Boss Line said something very important in the beginning, that every marriage is different.
Absolutely.
Every experience is different. Everybody. Now, for me and my ex-husband, it was a thing as we were on the same page sexually. So there was no, somebody had to beg or we understood each other. And that was one of the reasons I actually loved him, because we connected on that level. There were things, I shouldn't say, but there were things that we connected on and we did for the first time just because we were on that level. We were comfortable.
Things like. No, we want to know what is things.
Oh yeah, things like I'm with Daddy Freeze on this.
Things like we want to know.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Things like I'm going to be very vulgar, people.
Hey, don't be vulgar, because they just
not too vulgar, but I'm just going to tell you things like but okay, I'll give you an example. Things like I'm trying to be diplomatic, but not things like 69. When you've never tried it with someone and you're comfortable with someone,
that's very normal now. 69. I was expecting you to say you brought your best friend to the house.
You did do 72. Yeah, that is 69.
69 is like you would just want to start doing naughtiness.
So what I'm deriving at is that we were comfortable with each other. So we were talking to each other. We talked things through with each other. So that's why I said to you that when I got married, it was because we connected on a level. But like I said, I should have opened my eyes to certain red flags, But hey, you do it. What was that saying? Life is an experience. If you don't experience it, you never know what it is to have a red flag or a green flag, whichever.
Mm-hmm.
So you take every experience with a pinch of salt and learn from it. Doesn't mean that you're not going to make the same mistake. You might make the same mistake a different time, but in a different way. Do you understand? But it's just now you're aware of that thing, But like I said, going along, Nabila, I can relate to you because at some stage, domestic violence, that when he hits you, you don't bruise, you don't do anything. So even if you report it to anyone, nobody will believe you because they make sure they don't see anything in your skin. Okay? Then there was emotional abuse when after having the 2 children, I put on so much weight because I was so depressed. Because sometimes it's not the food, it's just your emotion that makes you, it triggers something in your body that you put on weight, basically. So people used to think it was food, and I'm like, I don't even eat. It's something in my system. My brain is shutting down for that reason. He used to say things like, after 2 children, who would look at you? Nobody would want you, X, Y, Z. This is why I said I can relate. Now, financial abuse. Here I am, I'm working around the children. Luckily, my sisters were living with me, so most of the time, if I go and work in the evening, my sisters would babysit until I get home and put my children to bed. So, I thank God for my family sticking around and just bearing with everything. So there was emotional, there was physical, there was financial, and there was also mental abuse.
I get that.
The mental abuse, it toys with you, so at some stage. But I'm going to fast forward to a stage where I became suicidal. I became suicidal, and I wrote back in the days, computers just came on board, and I wrote an email to my father, and I just said, help. My mom was in the house, my sisters was in the house, everybody was in the house. And when I sent that message to my father picked up the phone and said, your daughter is in the house, and she's just sent a message saying, help. Because I didn't tell anybody anything, because I felt that at the end of the day, nobody could help me when I'm back in my house, in my zone. They can, and when they see you coming, you know how our culture is. She has come again. She's coming to tell us something. So that mentality alone drew me back from releasing. So I sent an email. My father said, you know what? Because me and my father were quite close, so he was a bit shocked that I never said anything to him. So from there, things were. So my mom left, went back to Nigeria, and one blessed day, I was at work. This is why I said I was working, doing what I needed to do just to sustain. He called my workplace. My boss picked up the phone because I was on the phone, and he said, "Can I speak to Kemi?" And my boss said she's on the phone. And you know what he threatened my boss with? He said, "If you don't let Kemi pick up the phone, I'm going to come and cause a huge scene." Bearing in mind at work, I keep my personal life to myself. I kid you not. I felt the ground was going to open that day because he threatened my boss. So my boss got worried. He actually called the police. They had to walk me to my car. So he was very worried and everything. So it just spiraled into something I didn't believe that this person could do, And for me, I just felt, and I remember then, there were three things his parents, his mom used to say was, number one, because I grew up Catholic, so I used to go to a Catholic church, and for the reasons being in the UK, Catholic churches are actually, Catholic schools are very good for bringing up young children, especially when, so I went to a Catholic church to represent that, so that they were going that route, and his mother used to say to me, you don't go to a living church. You don't go to a living church. That's why you are. Number two, you grew up in England. You're a westernized girl. What's that got to do with anything? When me and your husband met each other, your son met each other, it wasn't based on whether I was here or there. It was more based on we liked each other. So what is the issue?
Come, which one is this living church? Let me even address that. Let me tell you. Of all the churches, I'm a Bible scholar. The most useless are these living churches. Whatever it is they are practicing is not Christianity. I can tell you for free. The Catholics have their own issues like everybody does, but at least the Catholic doctrines are doctrines that have evolved over 2,000 years. These Olodos that are calling themselves living, whatever it is they call themselves, fire altar and all this buffoonery. They pick one line in the Bible that they don't understand, mistranslate, and turn it into a whole religion. So I just wanted to point that out. Any woman that will tell you that kind of thing is a wicked woman already. Because she wants to use religion to manipulate and control you, in my own opinion, and I'm entitled to it. And so back to your story, sorry.
So all those things were affected because, like I said, I grew up here. Although I was very in tune with my culture, even for me, I learned Yoruba at university because all my friends were like, we're not speaking English to you. We're going to learn this Yoruba by force. I understood it, but I couldn't speak it. But eventually I did. But anyway, back to that. So it's like you get it from the ex-husband, you get it from his mom, oh, you are too westernized for me, you are too Oyibo, this, and I was like, you know what, I'm not even listening to this. This is your son. It's him I'm going to deal with, not anybody else, because when I met him, I didn't meet the whole family. I met him by himself. So anyway, like I said, it became a big issue. One blessed day, I came home from work. I was actually I just finished feeding my son. And I went downstairs to put his plate away, and his sister-in-law was on the phone with me talking. So he thought I was saying something, but she was actually begging me to say, you know what, he's saying that, you're not connecting, blah, 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 blah. And I said, look, I've got to go to work. I can't stay at home. So I don't think it's about the cheating, because anyway, I'm not going to kind of explain myself to anybody, because I knew what I went through and how faithful I was to him. Whether even if you're cheating, it's no excuse for a man to raise a hand, and vice versa for a woman to raise. Just because cheating is not the end of the world. Do you understand? I don't condone it. It happens in the world, but I kid you not. Why raise a finger to somebody because you assume that they're cheating? That's rubbish. Because what is assumptions? What do assumptions? It makes an ass out of you and me. Full stop. So if you're doing it based on assumptions, then that's your problem. It's not mine. Do you understand? That means you don't trust yourself, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, like I said, I was downstairs, I was talking to his sister, and the next thing, he just came and gave me a very huge blow. Yeah, a really huge blow. So
in this London?
Yes, in this London. In this London. You see, people that are saying, Kemi, you were flawless in, this, but it's not even about blame game. is about, like I said, if you have insecurities as an individual, that's for you to deal with, not to inflict pain on other people just because you have insecurities. I don't condone that. Do you understand? So for me, it was just that. So when so his sister-in-law heard everything. She was hearing everything, but he didn't realize she was the one on the phone. The next thing, we had a big American fridge freezer. He literally shoved me and the whole thing moved. A whole American fridge freezer. So you can imagine the force he pushed me. And bearing in mind, my children were still upstairs. So my first son, who was 4, he was actually 4. He was going on 4. He got really panicky. And fortunately for me, where the stairs and the door was, he was able to open the door. So he opened the door and said, "Please, somebody help. Please, somebody help." By this time, I was unconscious because from the blow and the bruises and everything. So my neighbors actually called the police because apparently they've been hearing us arguing once in a while. So long and short, he ran out the house thinking that the police are coming. He actually went up, changed, and went out. So the police were actually looking for him for a while because they couldn't get hold of him. But then he would stalk me. For you to get home one day and somebody writes a letter saying, "If I can't have you, one day you're going to You understand? But too, what my worry was he wrote a letter to me saying that one day my children are going to disappear, and when they look for us, he would have killed both of them. So I now became even more protective, and I was now under police protection just because of this situation. So it's a whole long story, really long. But like I said, just because a person has insecurity, you have no right to beat somebody else or take out that anger on the other person. It's wrong. And if you have issues that you have done from growing up, even if you've experienced domestic violence in your home, go through counseling and see how you can be a better person when you go into marriage, because those things do affect you, So for me, it's about you as an individual. I'm not going to say it's only men. I've seen women. I was still talking to the other day that beats her husband, and I was
women beat men too.
Hey, and because the only reason why
not one-sided
about it. The only reason why men don't speak about it is because society says you're a man. How can a woman beat you? So for me, like I said, it's all about the healing process. For me, it took me a while to heal. It took me a while to get to where I am today. And I thank God every day that I did not take my life, because guess what? Who would have looked after my children? Because guess what? No, and look after your children better than you. Nobody, no matter the relationship. A mother is always going to be a mother to their child. A father is always going to be a father to their children. So for me, that was a turnaround. It caused a lot of issues because my father, being my father, loved his child so much, it became an issue with the family. So my father turned against the family because they said, you know what my father said? So is it until my daughter is dead before he expects me to do anything? Please, now she's alive, let me take hold of my daughter. And you know what upset me the most? Because of society, I cried to my father and said, "Dad, I am so sorry I disappointed you." My father said, "Disappointed again? What do you mean? I'm happy you're alive." It's not a disappointment. It's an experience. And I'm glad you are who you are today.
Yeah. Now, let me ask all of you. Are you guys thinking of remarriage? All of you. From Bossline to Nabila to Kemi.
Not at the moment for me.
I think Nabila's is still fresh, so that's probably why she's saying that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Kemi has already remarried. The way you are saying Nabila's one is still fresh. I think you have remarried.
No, I haven't remarried.
Nabila needs closure first.
Are you in a relationship though?
I have had, bearing in mind I've been divorced for about 9 years now.
Wow.
I do, and that's, for me, it's because I was more protecting my sons, because I didn't want a situation a man comes and destabilizes the foundation I've built, the loving foundation I've built with my children. You know, both my boys are in university now. They're doing very well. I thank God because what you know, even now, one thing I did throughout raising them was I made a lot of sacrifices with the type of jobs I used to get. I got offered jobs in Dubai, but I always declined it because I didn't want to leave or toss my children from back to back. So when my second son finished, I decided to go for a position I've always wanted, and here I am today. I'm doing what I actually love doing. You know.
Are you dating, Kemi? You didn't tell me that one.
Kemi is dating now. She has told you now. Aborolon some of Omoluabi. How did they talk him?
Okay.
Aborolon some Omoluabi. Toba denu e ado didi.
You know, but for me, it's like you said, when you look at yourself and you have to love yourself first before you even get somebody to love you. And for me, as you know, Gosline, I do exercise. I'm a big girl, trust me. But when it comes to strength,
You're trying. I see all the work you put in.
Do you understand? I put in 110 because for me, it's about me being in my happy place. And my children see that. They always say, "Gosh, Mom, you're fantastic." I went to the gym with my son the other day, and the guy said, "Hey, that's your mom." I saw the way she was lifting. I was like, ah. But that's because that's when any man. I'm not saying I'm not ready to remarry. If it happens, it happens. Even somebody asked me a question just yesterday: would I ever have any more children? I sat down, I thought about it, and I said, you know what? If the guy never had children ever, who am I to judge what God's plan is? I can't. So if I'm supposed to have one, fine. If I'm not, it's not my priority right now. Because I'm in a very good place. I'm in a very happy place. You know.
Hey, someone is saying Bossland is very pleasing to the eyes. Come and marry me.
All right, guys. It's been wonderful, entertaining, informative being with you tonight. And I'm happy to be here. I learned a lot. And I'm glad I created a platform for over 700 people only on Instagram. There were people on TikTok. I still have about 100 people on YouTube and about 100 plus on Facebook just listening to the audio, and they'll still get to watch the video at the end of the day. And there's something that I must say. It's really beautiful for us to have this medium where we can share with each other our experiences and be better off for it. I wish you all the love and strength you need, Kemi, Nabila, and of course, Bossline. And what's the name of your book, Bossline? How can people get it?
Oh, it's called Single Motherhood, the Success Manual.
Single Motherhood, the Success Manual.
Yes. It's
on
Amazon. Amazon published it.
One thing she forgot to add is that this book is not just for single mothers, it's for everyone.
Exactly.
Literally everybody. You have to read it.
For
That
everybody.
is, honestly, it's for everybody. It's not just for Yes.
Single motherhood. Absolutely, absolutely. You guys need to get a hold of that book. I'm going to put it up on my Instagram handle tomorrow. So you guys can get a hold of it and read and share your experiences. Yet today you have a flight to catch. You're already looking tired.
I know. Thank you.
Your voice, your words are beginning to slow. Don't go and sleep off and forget your flight too.
Pray for me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So lovely meeting you. Thank you so much, Bossline, Nabila, and Kems. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing your story, and I wish you strength, all of you.
Thank you.
Salute. Take care. God bless. And all of you will find husbands.
Ciao.
All of you will find husbands. All of you will find handsome husbands. Rich husbands.
Rich husband.
Husbands that have the... Oh yeah, come on, be going. Come on, be going. All of you. Don't try.